please rise for the national anthem of Belgium. The national anthem of Austria.
Specifically, Arena Město for yet another game of the European Bounce Lacrosse Championships 2026. Andre Giselle and Luke Lee down in the commentary booth, and we are awaiting yet another game of the 9th place bracket between Team Belgium in red and the black details, and on the other side, Austria with white and red. Luke, just what are your thoughts on this matchup?
Well, you got a great Belgium team, and I mean, you think about high-octane offense, and that's Belgium for you. They've got a heck of an offense. Their ability to move up and down the floor is so dangerous, particularly off transition. We've got a number of great players, and obviously you got to look at the former All-American at Penn State, John King. You got Sasha Vornier, who's only 18 years old, started playing on the national team when he was 16. Kyle Baker, absolute dog as well, got 12 goals. And I don't know if you caught the final moments of Belgium's game against Norway, who we just called previously, and big win for Norway. But the move at the end by Baker that ultimately had him just trucking a defender who was trying to come right into him. I mean, that was a heck of a highlight play. And yeah, this is a really, really great Belgium offense. Now going up against an Austria team that's for sure hungry.
As you said, the exclamation point made by Kyle Baker at the end of the game between Belgium and Norway. Now on the face-off now, we got an interesting matchup. We got Odera Ayaliwo from Belgium and Pedalocini from Team Austria. So far the number 33 for team now playing in white has been very good in the last 2 or 3 games on the face-off dot, winning a lot of draws. for the team.
And Odora Alago, who's taking the opening face-off for Belgium. It's a cool fact I learned before the game. Played American football over at the University of San Diego in the FCS back in the day. And, well, obviously, to make his way over to lacrosse, a totally different sport. I mean, that just shows you how athletic he is and how potentially crucial he's going to be in this game here. I actually want to look up his position. That's actually so interesting that he played football at San Diego back in the state. That's so awesome.
Let's get on to the netminders of this game.
Oh, he played his football at Chico High School in California, which is a very, very well-known American football program in the States for the high school level. They send numerous guys to the highest level, and no doubt that they sent him.
Now we're getting more educated from Luke. As now we're looking at the view from behind the Austrian goal, where we can see Philip Latke rocking the number 37. So far 73% in the tournament. On the other side, the stable number 1 for Belgium, Romain Kluge. 75% for one of the oldest players in the tournament. 20 seconds winding down to the initial face-off. Ailevo and Lucchini.
Some quick words of the official pregame.
Just tells him, we want to play, we want to play. Let the beast out. They're getting down, and we are underway. Who is going on? Belgium with the initial face-off, and John King, as we mentioned, the prolific goal scorer, 20 goals for Belgium in this tournament. Down to the left side to Red King. Loose ball in the crease of Latke, and now picked up by Matthias Stadlinger. Young and prolific player for the Austrian program, goes all the way to Kluge, and the first save by the Belgian netminder. Going the other way is John King, followed by the captain Adrian Balash and Stefan Stadlinger, now dealing a big pressure, a lot of checks. Now Sacha Warnier going over, and he scores! Sacha Warnier!
And what a start for Belgium on offense. That was a heck of a roll. You'll see on the replay, crashing down onto the net was Belgium, and ultimately the delayed cut from Sacha Warnier coming down, and the slide for Austria was just way too late. There was nobody there, and this replay not going to show up, but regardless, Warnier doing what he does best on the step down. And a fast start for Belgium on offense.
And as we said, he's the future for Belgian lacrosse, as he's only 18 years old. As I was telling Luke that I wouldn't say it to him that he is 18 years old. Now we're in front of Kluge. Gert Pravs going from top key and blocked by Janssens. And the ball trickles into the stick of Kluge. Up to Henke. Moving straight into the traffic, now looking for someone to pass to. De Hare. Down to Van den Bolke. Playing a two-man game with De Hare. Flips it to him, but the ball trickles out to the boards. Kyle Baker looks for the long shot. And from the stick of Latke, and now picked up by Emil Langrebe.
And the cut was there for Belgium, but unfortunately unable to handle the passes. The play design so far for them has definitely been working. They've drawn up some nice things on offense.
And now Austria going the other way. Andres Sucher. Down to the right-hand side to Klaus Hauer, a big-time player for Austria. Takes a shot and a save by Kluge. Rebound goes to Sucher. Back to number 12. Gert Probst. One of the biggest names of the Austrian lacrosse. Marvin Lurk back to Suchet on the left-hand side. Now the ball bounces, but it stays in the lacrosse stick of John King, and a big save by Latke.
And the All-American on transition nearly knocks it through again for Belgium, as he's going to be so dangerous, particularly when he has that ball, particularly when he has the ball in his stick coming free on transition in the open field.
Howard gets a pick from Suchet and got the shot above Janssens. But now Red King, he has been a big player in their last game against England, where he sparkled for them a possible comeback with the 3 or 4 goals scored. Now up to Nowak. Pass it off to Baker. Big shot, but just missed the cage of Latke, and we're going the other way.
Again, Belgium's been very, very shot heavy to start this game out, putting a lot of pressure on Austria in the net. And outside of the Sasha Vornier dump down to start, it's been a decent start for Austria on defense.
But as we could have seen throughout the tournament, Austria has been very good in the pressure on the ball. Big shot in the process by Profs. Going the other way is John King again. Shoots and just misses the net. It has touched the back netting of the goal of Latke. The clock has been reset, and Van den Bolke playing a 2-man game with De Hare again. Spins off, shoots and scores! Lars Van den Bolke! And he didn't even... He got the 2-man game from De Hare. He held up both of these players and he shot over him.
And you can see on the replay, this is all the pick right there that was set by, that was set on the play by De Hare, and a great job by Vanderbilt to put that ball down on the bouncer. Obviously, when you're playing on the floor compared to the turf, you're going to get a more of a generous bounce. And again, that's all set up by the pick and the off-ball movement by Belgium.
Yeah, in this floor, the bounces are more consistent for players than the turf that we could have seen at Argentina. Malashitsa now tried by Red King, but Filip Latke was pretty much stepped over his post. So now Stefan Stahlinger on the other side. Now we have Hauer. Was thinking about passing to the Profs, but then he passed it to Martin Neubauer. Salzburn was trying to find Lurk, but the ball's loose, and John King again sprinting across to the cage of Latke, and a big shoulder by the Austrian netminder.
And a great job of not getting outside of his step, making sure he stays in his place, and John King coming crashing down on the net on the net like that is never a pretty sight, excuse me.
And on the other side, we had a chance initiated by Gerd Probst, but Roman Kluge was able to handle it. Now again, Sasha Warnier, the big lefty, looking for a cutter or someone. Gets the pick from De Hare, gets into the process, and he scores! Roman De Hare makes it 3-0 for Belgium.
And again, we talked about it in the previous game, but when you have a big-time offensive player like that in Sasha Vornier, the pick initially set by De Hare, and then the pick and roll back to him. All the defense's attention switches to Vornier down low, near side of the goal, and it leads De Hare wide open. As you can see, the shift over is a little bit late for Austria, and Belgium already letting it roll on offense.
Now Henket bringing it up back for Belgium. Flips it off to King, down to Baker. Picks ball from Nowak. Pass it off to Van den Bolke. He spins out, checked by Matthias Stahlinger, and there's an aftermath. And now Harun El Karmoudi, whoa! And those are the kind of shots that fit Harun El Karmoudi. Number 19 scores a 4 for Belgium.
And this is a great second chance rebound opportunity for El Khamroudi. Picks the ball up, and then a couple defenders for Austria. You can see just playing a little bit over-aggressive and then missing on the trail check and then not putting the check in the right spot. You're supposed to leave with your body on the check. He leaves with his stick, and ultimately, El Khamroudi's gonna fight through that every single time. You can see just to top it off, goalkeeper gets off his spot in the net, which ultimately, again, creates that shooting angle for El Khamroudi to put it in the back of the net.
And less than 4 minutes into play, we have a change in the crease of Austria. Christoph Kühnert is going to step up in between the three pipes for the Austrians. Gerd Probst. Janssens against him. Marvin Lurk. Big body by John King. He's now absolutely everywhere. Marvin Lurk got the rebound. Got it just off the cage of Kluge. Now Probst flips it to Hauer. Gets a big shot and just missed the upper 90.
And again, a great job from Belgium. They're taking away all the shooting angles for Austria and making them take outside far shots beyond that dotted line. That's exactly what you want to do with defense.
Red King passed it off to John King. Tried to lose his man, but a big block by Pucher. Big pass, nice handle by Red King. Pass it off to Sasha Warnier. Face dodge, rolls out. But again, Pucher and Daniel Ludwig kicks it out.
And that was a great defensive stand for Austria. So they plugged up the middle of the floor, and Warnier, you could see he was trying to cut his way inside and create a shooting angle, and it's just so plugged up in the middle of that floor that they were able to get body on the ball and, again, setting up their offense.
And a big catch from Adrian Balash from the pass of Salzburg, but again, Kluge stands tall. And Red King going the other side, swims over Langebe, rolls, but he has been stripped off the ball by Stadlinger.
And the checks have been flying like crazy indiscriminately for Austria. Finally, a one does pay off.
And Langebe somehow finds Hauer now a loose ball in the center of Belgian half, but now passed off to El Khamroudi. And we could speak about the goal of El Khamroudi as he doesn't have to get the wind-up such big as the players like John King, who will snipe it with the pass of Rainbow. El Khamroudi needs even the little space to shoot, but now a shot blocked by Daniel Ludwig. And now going the other way, it's Clemens Schusterschitz.
And again, a solid defensive stop for Austria, taking away the shooting angles once again, plugging up the middle of the floor and not giving Belgium any easy looks.
Marvin Lurk, 10 seconds to shoot. Gerd Probst gets a hand of his stick, shoots, and a stick save by Kluge.
Kluge, he's been on point to start this game out. A big 0 still on the scoreboard for Austria. And they've just been so good on the defensive side of the ball all around.
De Hare flips it to Kyle Baker. Down to Van den Bolke, back to the number 10. To the other side for Stepman. Now low is De Hare, but the shot has been blocked in front of Radke. And the referees are waving off our first commercial/hydration break, so we're going to be back with the first half action.
The Good Stick Company is here to manufacture and produce lacrosse sticks locally here in the Czech Republic. Our mission is to make lacrosse more accessible so more kids can have access to affordable, high-quality equipment so more people can play this game and we can share this sport around the world.
checking in with the first quarter action. 6 minutes remaining. Andre Driesal and Luke Lee on the mic back again. And Austria now with the ball. Hauer down to Lurk. Back to Hauer. Quick 1-2. The ball gets into the corner of the field. Now good, Props. Big shot. But again, saved by Roman Kluge. And he has been truly a wall for Belgium. Red King initiating another attack for Belgium. Baker gets El Karamoudi, tries to hit him ball trick. Doesn't pay off. Sacha Warnier tries to go under. Good defense. Kyle Baker looking, shoots, and he trickles in behind Kunit, but he handles it even before the goal line. What a save, what a reflexes by Christoph Kunit.
And he might have gotten away with one there, but regardless, like you said, what a way to keep the eyes up and stay aware and understand that ball hadn't quite trickled in beyond the line and saving a huge goal for Austria.
Andres Sucher swings it off to Lurk. Loose ball. And picked up by Ores. It could have been a hooking call, but let the boys play. Ores flips it off for John King. Down to De Hare. That's all time in the world. Dodges upfield, defended by Langrebe. Now John King going over. Has Adrian Balash, the captain with the bionic leg. John King swims, shoots, and is saved by Kunit.
He got swarmed by the defense and somehow still got that ball off. That is impressive work from John King, the All-American.
And John King now pressed the Austrian defense to get the loose ball for Belgium and gets them another 30 seconds to work with. Close defense by Huang. Gets it flipped off to John Baker. No loose ball, picked up by Schusterschitz. And clears it off. Passes it off for Daniel Ludwig. One of the stable players for Vienna Monarchs, such as a majority of the Austrian roster. Gerd Probst plays for Vienna Monarchs as well. We can't forget the captain, Adrian Balash. Andres Sucher gets it to Hauer. Tries to dodge over! And just over the head of Kluge. And so now we're heading the other way, Red King.
Since the 4-goal run for Belgium, we've seen some very solid defense on both ends. Belgium the whole way has been playing very solid defensively, but ever since Christoph Kunert has come into the game for Austria, they've definitely looked more rejuvenated on that side of the ball.
Now we have Belgium back in the attack mode. Stepman tries to dodge underneath, and a bouncer almost got into the commentary booth. But the ball stays in boards.
We could be in danger, Andre. Might have to watch out.
In the warm-ups, a few of the balls went from the Austrian warm-up, so we have to be careful here.
That indeed.
No props. Back with the ball, passed it off to Balash, and he was trying to pass to the traffic for Hauer, but he wasn't looking as he was strangled up with Oris. And now the ball is flying over. Adrian Balash comes over the halfway line, gets rid of 2 Belgian players, getting his hands on him. Now Hauer, big shot on round, but he just misses the goal of Kluge. Now John King, defended by Lurk.
That's the prosecutor.
The prosecutor. Now Schusterschitz. Pressure by Baker, but he gets rid of him, passes it off to Salzburg.
And Austria has just been totally neutralized up to this point in terms of the fast break. Even when they've been able to set their opportunities up, Belgium has done a really, really good job of subbing in time.
You've almost jinxed it. The ball, the ball almost trickled through the 5-hole of Kluge, but the experienced netminder for Belgium stood intact. El Karamoudi goes underneath. He tried to flip it to the far side, but the ball's now loose in the corner, picked up by Belgium again. It was Heinik. Pass it off to Warnier. Spins off, gets his slug, but nice block by Nadia Ludwig, putting his body on the line.
Again, it's another shot clock violation for this Belgium offense. And I mean, the rough start for Austria defensively, but I've said it a couple times now, and I'm going to continue to say it. They have looked a lot better filling in their spots, not getting too aggressive on the forechecks, and being able to make sure that the offense stays in front of them.
Yeah, less than a minute remaining in this first quarter, and if Austria wants to get something, they have to get it rolling now. But now Adrian Balazs has been absolutely robbed by Kluge on the crease. Now Henken heading the other way and has Nowak for the shot.
Austria subbing a little bit late there, getting caught in transition. Lucky though, they were able to make the save in the net.
7 seconds between the game clock and the shot clock, because we now have just 12 on the shot clock. Probst finds Lurk, tries to find the other post, but Belgium heading the other way. 10 seconds remaining in the quarter. Pass it off to King. Shoots, but Kunit handles it. And Lurk and tries to get a shot off, but he has been shirked when the buzzer rang, as we are now closing the first quarter of this game between Belgium and Austria. As Luke said, Austria has been absolutely neutralized by this Belgian defense and Belgian transition. So we're going to be back with more first half action.
I still can't believe that first one. I have to get it. I want to get it back. Like that was something unbelievable. That was something. Let's destroy the equipment.
Back at Jižní Město, back with another part of the journey. This game between Austria and Belgium. So far, it has been going better for the team in red, as they are now leading 4-0 against the Austrian side that they've already beaten in the group in the first game of the tournament, 11-21.
And so a big trend I want to bring up from the first quarter is that after 4 goals being scored in the first 6 minutes, nothing for the rest of the 10.
So now we're going the other way after the save of Kluge. Now Red King. Pass it off to John King. Tried to pass it into traffic to Sasha Warnier, but now the ball's loose. John King picks up his own rebound. Now pressured by Schusterschitz. Gives the long shot, but just off the mark. Now Baker was trying to get in there, but he shot after the shot clock. So now Miller is going the other side.
Again, another strong defensive possession for Austria. After giving up the 4 in the first 6 minutes, they've definitely looked a lot more comfortable on that side of the ball and continuously have been able to take away the cuts from Belgium, excuse me.
Now Janssens clears the ball for Belgium. They had a big shot and a shoulder save by Kunert. Bangs it over the guarding net above the boards. So now we're back with Belgium on the ball. Guillaume Noak. Ball, pass knocked down. Pass it off to Sasha Warnier. Big checks by Daniel Puche, who has now been stripped off by De Hade. Tries to pass it off for Van den Bulke. But a big body by Pucher. And finds Emil Angrebe on the halfway line.
Talked about the slides being late a couple of times defensively for Austria, but that play there, a great example of the slides being on time. Multiple cutters for Belgium and still not able to do anything on the play.
Now Salzman playing a two-man game with Probs, gets the flip, pass it off to Adrian Balazs, but again, a save on the 5-hole without a stick for Roman Kluge.
What a way to get on top of that shot there. I mean, a whole lot of chaos happening. Again, enough of an opening for Austria to get the shot off, but a great save.
Oh, John King went across, passed it off to Red King. Now shoots, and the ball goes way out to the scorekeeper's box. Watch out, we are in a serious danger right here, ladies and gentlemen. But as the shot went wide and didn't touch any of the Austrian side, we're heading back in front of Roman Kluge. Adrian Balazs gets it off to Props. Back to Balazs, big shot off the mark. Senti gets the loose ball, sprints the length of the field, passes it off to Janssens, tries to find the net, but just missed the right hand post. Now Sasha Warnier gets the loose ball, fades off. Shot has been knocked down. Now Heineck tries to pick it up, but Daniel Ludwig does it. Gets it off to Emil Angrebe. Marvin Lurk looking for his outlet. Pass it off to Salzburn. Back to Lurk. Down to the low corner for Hauer. Couple fakes, but Kluge. The Belgian wall. And a 4-second violation against the Belgian goalie. And now Hauer finds Salzburn. Big shot. Just missed the mark. Ayaliwo finds Janssens on top of the field. Gets a pick from Matalet. And the goal's disallowed. Illegal body check played by Matalet against Huang. So the goal's disallowed. And Stadlinger is going the other side.
And that body check, the illegal body check, the difference between a goal right there for Belgium and potentially a contested defensive stop for Austria.
And a big try by Adrian Balazs. But Kluge got a big hand to it.
In Belgium, they were all over that defensively, not any room to try to make that play. And like you said, just all over it.
John King. Stadlinger fades him off, gets a pick from Stepman. Now gets a pick from Baker. Stepman gets the loose ball, 10 seconds on the shot clock. Pick from Baker, tried to flip it back to him. Now John King gets the loose ball. Just off the mark, but now picked up by Baker, loose ball. But we are heading back the other way. Lucas Miller bringing the ball upfield for Austria. Andres Sucher. Up to Lurk. Down to Hauer. Flips it off for Neubauer. He doesn't catch it. And almost swatted from the air by Kluge, but Props went into the traffic in between the two Belgian defenders, but Steen Oris comes victorious with the ball. Now looking, it's Aelewo. Pass it off to Warnier. Goes fast! With a big squeeze by Christoph Kühnert. Going the other side is Ludwig. To Hauer, tried to pass it to Salzburn, but the ball gets loose and ends up in the stick of the Belgian goaltender, now Janssens. 3-on-2. Nowak noticed it late that they had numbers against Austria. As John King for the pick. Noak tries to go underneath, finds Sasha Warnier in the traffic, spins out, but Kühnert again comfortable. So far, since the fast 4 goals in the beginning of the first quarter, we didn't see any points being added to the scoreboard, as now Matthias Stadlinger is now in the lower corner. A little bit of a shaky control by Marvin Lurk. Gert Probst. Back to Lurk. Under 10 seconds to shoot. Adrian Belash muscles his way through. And Austria is now complaining. Oh, and a big hit afterwards. Matthias Stadlinger ended up on the ground after a big body by Henke.
And you said it earlier, hey, let the boys play, and they have no doubt, this referee group of officials, they've definitely allowed the boys to play here so far and doing it there.
No, El Karamoudi tried to go in the traffic, but the ball went out. And Belgium was pretty confused. They were convinced that the ball got out of the boards with the touch of Marco Lodne. But anyways, Austria back in the attack. Hauer pass it off to Salzburn, down to Probst. Tries to get his dodge. Tries to shoot from up key, pass it off to Hauer, spins out, spins the second time, and the big save by Kluge.
And again, the sweeper for Austria just going too far out, and that really just comes to the credit of the Belgium defense. They have not given Austria a whole lot of shooting angles today. It's been very, very tough for them to try to establish something in front of the net.
Neubauer gets his pass knocked down. And a big pressure by Matelet. We're heading the other side. Red King, Sasha Warnier going in front of Kühnert. And the ball stays in front of the goal line. And the goal's good. Red King. And Kühnert is now furious on one of the officials.
Thought King stepped into the crease. And you can see, we'll see in a second if he does. He doesn't.
Yeah, he was complaining about the goalie interference because he was trying to pick up the ball and Red got in front of him. But as Kühnert was standing in the crease, the call could have been made. But the officials, again, as you said moments ago, they're letting the game flow, letting the boys play, as we said several times, even in the previous match between Norway and Scotland. But now we're heading back in front of Kühnert. Baker down to Stepman. Pass it off to Sasha Warnier. Down to De Hare. Tries to get a two-man game with him. Stepman, big shot. Save by Kühnert.
And again, outside of the goal by Red King previously where he wrapped around and just had some magic to get that ball, Austria's done a great job of not giving Belgium high percentage shots, and Belgium has also done the same, and it's really what's led to this scoring drought that was just ended by Red King.
They've definitely woken up from the 4 goals conceded in the first quarter, but so far couldn't find a path through the Belgian defense and especially the Belgian wall in Roman Kluge.
And again, another shot clock violation.
And with 5 minutes and 52 seconds, we are heading back into another media timeout. We're going to be back in a minute.
Pivo z rodinného pivovaru, kde řemeslo a tradice jdou ruku v ruce.
Back with the second quarter action here at Jižní Město and in the game between Belgium and Austria. Belgium so far shut down the Austrian offense as they've scored 5 now. A big save by Kunert on the shot. I believe it was from John King. And the other way goes Matthias Stadlinger.
For one of the few times in the second quarter, Austria conceded some space in the middle that set up the John King shot. Ultimately, though, another great save and deflection to knock the ball away for them.
Hauer. Sucher. Ball trickles from the stick of Flurk. Now a big loose ball fight, but checked by Janssens, who now passes it off to Red King and he jogs back to the bench to be subbed out. Now Red King gets it off to Van den Bulke. Novak. El Karmoudi tries to muscle his way through. A lot of checks throwing. Big shot by Red King, but it has been stomped by one of the offenders. And Stefan Stadlinger heading the other way. Has Oris in front of him, tries to go himself, but he misses the goal entirely. Now a loose ball on the boards. Now Salzburn, a fact about Salzburn, he is a very versatile player. He can play as well on the left-hand side as on the right-hand side. And now we have a delayed penalty. And it's against Stijn Oris.
It's been a huge power play opportunity for Austria. Been vanquished on the offensive side of the ball today, and two players. That's the one.
I didn't see what happened exactly, but we need a wiper. So I didn't see the situation exactly, but this call could have gone both ways. You could get Stijn Oris, who is now sitting in the penalty box for pushing Gert Props in the crease, but as well a goalie interference on, yeah, but this is a definite one against Oris.
And you can see Romain Klug, he just kind of steps down a little bit at the end on the shooter and gives him a couple words.
Yeah, but definitely it depends on the referee if he calls the pushing from behind from the defender or the goalie interference from the attackman. So now Austria has their biggest chance so far with 5 against 4. Now Salzburg has to find someone to pass to. Pass it off to Probst. Now Hauer going from top key, and he scores! Klaus Hauer finally breaks the dam for Austria.
And again, I was going to say before the shot went off, if you're Austria, you're going to have to get this ball around, try to get the defense moving, try to get Klug out of his spot, right? Don't just let them sit there defensively. Make them shift and move around and create that opening for yourself, and a great job of doing so. You can see, oh, it just split right between Klug's legs, and big one for Austria.
He kind of slipped with one of his legs, and his 5-hole was just a little wide, and the ball went straight through it. But a good thing for Austria that they're finally getting on board with 25 minutes in the game.
And like you said, it really just opened the dam, broke the dam, so to speak. It's a good line. I like that.
Gonna use that in the future games, no?
Gotta. Good one.
So we're going back in front of Kluge. Marvin Lurk had one of the most impressive games so far on the tournament. Was a one-man army. To be honest, I cannot right now think of the game. But now we're going the other way with Red King going the left-hand side. Dodges Huang, dodges Miller as well. Pass it up to Fournier. To the other side to Nog, but a loose ball. Knocked down to the stick of John King. He jumps! And the goal has been waved off as the number 11 stepped into the crease.
And that was the second time that John King has had a goal taken away from him because they said he was inside of the crease. And I mean, what a heck of an athletic play by King. It doesn't matter if it ended up resulting in a goal. That was just a thing of beauty.
Now we're back in front of Roman Kluge. Maximilian Salzburn. And the goal is waved off as Andres Sucher is going to the penalty box.
So back-to-back goals going to be waved off for both teams, as looks like we might be having concurrent penalties. Potentially, no. Looked like for a second Baker was going to walk over to the penalty box.
Yeah, so only
the
Andres
one.
Sucher now sitting in the penalty box for Austria.
So both teams now have a power play.
Stepman, Baker, and on the left-hand side we have De Hare and Warnier. Big save by Kunert. Now a loose ball on the boards picked up by Stepman. Up to De Hare. He just gives a hand signal to slow down the combination. Just throw the ball around. Stepman gets the shot off and off the post. But De Hare got to the ball so they can get yet another 30 seconds to play with. King and Baker on the right-hand side. Baker goes underneath. He goes over and again from the post of the goal of Kunert, but now it trickles from the legs of John King and we're going the other way.
Again, it's a really tough angle there. Even on the man down situation for Austria, not creating or not giving too many easy shot opportunities for Belgium. That top right post corner to the outside is really hard to hit, and a good job on Austria to force Belgium to take that uncontested or take that contested shot.
Now Gert Probst. Big pressure by Berescuren. Now double team. Almost a triple team against the ball carrier. Now big hit! And then another big hit with the loose ball. But the whistle stays silent as Salzman picks up the ball and nobody from okay, one of the officials caught it. Red King got a hand of in the face of Bucher, and he's going to the penalty box as well.
So it'll be 32 seconds of even play and then about a minute and a half of 5-on-4 for Austria. So essentially that'll kill the penalty or the power play for Belgium. And yeah, that's just aggressive from Red King. Oh, he threw a punch.
Okay.
That makes a lot of sense. He threw a punch.
Roughing now makes a lot of sense. Now big chance for Hauer. Now playing on the left-hand side. In fact, the whole Austrian offense is pretty much very versatile and can play on both of sides of the field in front of the opposing goalie. As you could have seen Salzburn making a Making about, okay. Forget about that for now. Harun El Karmoudi.
And a huge power play goal for Belgium. Well, not really power play at this point. Technically, I guess, if you want to count it, but it was 4-on-4.
Oh.
And you can see the entire defense going to shift over to John King. I mean, we've said it a couple times how important it is to have a player who can direct that much attention, because that creates a whole different opening for El Karmoudi. Forces the goalie fully over to the outside spot, which then again leaves a wide open space for El Karmoudi to dump it in.
It was 2-on-2 between the Belgians and the Austrians on the left-hand side, but both of Kolodny and Stefan Stadlinger went way out from the reach of the crease of Kunert, and the ball went in for El Karmoudi. And again, through a couple fakes, and another ball in behind the back of the Austrian goalie. Now again, we're back in front of him. Big shoulder save by Kunert. As we have reached the end of the first half, Belgium so far very dominant performance against Austria. So far allowed only 1 goal. And we will be heading into the second half with the score of 1-6 between Austria and Belgium.
Že prej si mám vzít jednu místní uklízečku.
Second half action here at Jižní Město. And back with the game between Belgium and Austria. So far, big 6-1 lead for the team in red, so-called Red Devils. We're underway with the second half. Ondřej Dřížal, Luke Lee on the mic. And we're heading back in front of Roman Kluge, who has so far allowed only 1 goal. And so far, the whole Belgian defense has been working very well. But we have 30 seconds in the power play for Austria, and another big save for Kluge. Loose ball picked up by Belash. Lurk to Topke to Hauer. Pass it off to Probst. Cheeky control, pass it off back to Hauer. Quick shot to Salzburn.
And again, I was talking to the coaching staff.
That's a big time goal for Austria. As we're back with Hauer scoring for the team in white and red.
And coming down real hard on the step down shot, just enough of a space, getting Klug out of his spot. And put an absolute rope on that thing, going top shelf towards the pipe. King will work it down, facing some heavy pressure. Looking for a pick. Gets it from De Geer. And continuing to work this round is Belgium.
Now loose ball picked up by Kunitz from behind the goal. Now we're Austria almost with numbers. Now Klaus Hauer going into the traffic. Tried to flip it to Probst. But now a loose ball kicked off by Sten Orris. Over the halfway line, it's Schusterschitz. 10 seconds to shoot. Probst has Matalet, goes underneath, tries to shoot. And a big save by Kluge.
And I was talking with the coaching staff of Belgium before the game, and one of the big things they talked about with Kluge is he actually paid his own way to go to Ottawa to train this past off-season with Ottawa's NLL goal in their facility. So a big investment for him on his part, and it's definitely showing up here.
Definitely all the experience just showing off right now in the Belgian crease. As we are now on the other side, back in front of Christophe Kunitz. Sasha Warnier, 18-year-old star, trying to pass it down to El Karmoudi. The ball trickles down to the boards. Big scrum picked up by John King, who comes up victorious with the loose ball. Flips it off for Baker.
And again, Belgium just swarming to the ball, and that's been a huge difference between them and Austria today. They've given themselves so many second chance opportunities and extended offensive possessions from picking up the ground ball.
El Karmoudi was thinking about the shot, but then he passed it off to Roman De Geer. And now a 5-goal lead, 5-goal lead for Belgium. As we're now heading into a thriller for the Red Devils.
And I was just saying it a second ago, that ability to pick up the loose balls and be able to get second chance opportunities comes up big. This play doesn't happen without it, and again, the entire defense going with El Karmoudi, which eventually leads to Hare wide open and beating his man on the one-on-one towards the net.
And we could have seen the experience of De Geer, who didn't shoot immediately after the pass, but he waited for Christophe Kunitz to go to the other pipe, and then he saw a lot of space over him, so he finished with the dunk and gets the 5-goal lead for Belgium. As now they're heading back in front of Austria's cage. John King strafing down the line! That's an 8th goal for Belgium as John King strikes once again.
And the off-ball movement for Belgium makes all the difference. You can see it's all bunched up towards the left-hand side, and that gives John King the one-on-one with his defender. And once you give him that one-on-one, you give him enough space there. King just able to rip it from down low on the sidearm shot, and what a beauty towards the 5-hole again.
But as you said, the scrum on the right-hand side, and Daniel Ludwig was pretty much on John King, but then he let him up just a little bit, and he got his hands free and gave an 8th goal towards the Belgian net. Going the other side is Emil Langrebe. Passed it off to Salzburg. Now Gert Pravs going in the traffic, tried to shoot it on the near post, but he missed it, the goal entirely. 10 seconds to shoot. Now Klaus Hauer going from top of the key. Big pressure by the Belgian defense, and a knockdown by John King. Shoots and just off the mark. And John King has been literally everywhere in this game. In defense, he's been dealing so many hits, so many hard checks on the other side, scoring for the offense. As now we can see the point leaders with John King and Harun El Karmoudi. 3 points apiece. Roman De Hare with 1 less. Adrian Belash getting his hands free, but misses the mark entirely. So we're going back the other way. Sacha Warnier. I just wanted to quickly appreciate our production crew sitting just below us for all tournament long, giving us the best production possible. And Kyle Baker back again in the action, all alone on the crease, finishes behind Kunert.
And that's the first time we've really called his name today. Is De Hare. A great job to pick the ball up, roll around, skid the pass far side, and Baker was wide open again. Nobody even near him. A great job to keep the head up, keep the eyes up, and stay level throughout that play to create that assist opportunity.
Yeah, again, the defense is just so high up on the ball, and it leaves the deadly shooters like John King or Kyle Baker all alone. Such as we've seen the example right now, as now a loose ball on the halfway line, and Guillaume Noak stepped with the ball in his position over the halfway line. As now Klaus Hauer tries to go underneath Senti. Gets himself on. John King tries to fake a shot, and he shoots. And Kluge makes the save. Marvin Lurk spins out his defender. John King has to have one of the highest floor times in the tournament. Definitely.
He's got to be up there.
Marvin Lurk, wide shot. And there's a delayed penalty against...
I believe it's on John King.
Yeah, it is against Belgium. So Corisenti is now heading towards the penalty box.
Just some extra contact.
And again, a wiper needed.
Yeah, you can see he was holding him all the way. Well, Austria scored on their opening power play opportunity, so big opportunity for them to try to add some more points on the board.
Both teams so far are 3-2 in the tournament. So far, the only losses for Austria have been against Norway after another big comeback for the northern team, and then the initial loss against Belgium at the beginning of the tournament. On the other side, so far, only losses on the Belgian side were against Poland, 15-7, and against England in the playing game. Oh, a big from behind the goal try by Adrian Belash. But Kluge was pretty aware of the try by the captain of the Austrian side. Now Harun El Karmoudi. Luke Leo almost fell out of our commentary booth.
Almost.
But he's pretty okay, it looks like.
Hope so.
We're heading the other way. Matthias Stadlinger leaving it out for Balash. Vienna Monarch as well as a Danube Dolphin. Gerrit Probst on the left-hand side. Loose ball. Balash running for it. 1 second to shoot. And they've got to know that they have a low number of seconds on the shot clock. Pretty late. So Marvin Lurk just tried to chuck it onto the cage of Kluge. So we're heading back to the other side. Sasha Warnier. His big posture cannot be unseen. Now Kyle Baker holding off. That's Marko Lodne. Baker shoots and wide of the mark for Belgium. So we have 16 seconds remaining from the penalty of Coricenti. As we're heading back in front of Kluge. Salzburn gets it to Hauer, doesn't handle it. Now a loose ball picked up by Balash. Lurk tries to find Probst, but John King misdirects the pass and picks up the loose ball for Belgium.
And what a play from John King to get his stick into the passing lanes, take the ball away, and then catch his own rebound to flip the field for Belgium.
Oh, and the big aftermath between King and Stadlinger. I think it will have an aftermath afterwards, but now Jesse Heine getting straight to Kunnert, and he scores! And onto double digits for Belgium is Jesse Heine.
And Heineck, what relentlessness on the trail check. Weren't able to see it because of the replay, but a heck of a job by him to knock the ball out. And then what hustle. Austria just a little bit too late on the sub-in offensively. Defensively, it's tough for them to know that was coming. But regardless, Belgium just laying it on.
But as you said, Jesse Heineck and his big job on the forecheck results into the 10th goal for Belgium, and they are pretty running away with the score now. Bank shot for John King, and now an unlucky side for Christoph Kunnert because he is now pretty upset about it, and he's going to sub off again.
I mean, how could you not? He was right. He was in the right spot too. From King. King, honestly.
From the replay because. Okay.
Oh, that is just unlucky.
Yeah, that's.
Bounces off the knee pad. Takes himself out of the. Wow, that is just some unluckiness. And then John King, the Nittany Lion, is just having a heck of a day.
And so we're heading back with Philipp Hladky into the cage for Austria. As Christoph Kunnert had a heck of the beginning of the game. But then he conceded a few fast goals. So we're back with Hladky in the cage for Austria. So now back in front of Kluge, 10 seconds to shoot. Adrian Balash tried to pass to Stadlinger, but the loose ball. Nobody wants to pick it up. Now it has been by John King. I don't even want to say his name because we've said it so many times throughout the game. Pass it off to Red King. Down to De Hare. Up to Baker. Now it's Guillaume Noak. Tries to find Baker in the traffic. Spins off. Doesn't shoot on Hladky, and a no-looker. Just off the mark for Belgium. As we are back with under 7 minutes remaining in the third quarter. So we are heading into yet another hydration break. We're going to be back with another piece of the second half action.
Oh yeah, you want to know something about John King?
One of the players, the ginger, I don't know his name, he was playing for Greece at the Euros.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's so sick.
Back with the second half action back here in Město. Game between Belgium and Austria. So far, better result for the Belgians as they are leading 2-11. As now a loose ball picked up by the Austrians. Salzburg tried to pass it to Probs, but the pass has been misdirected. Now going the other way is Stepman. Warnier initiating, pass it off to Baker. Tries to go under Ludwig, but pass it off to the other side by Van den Broeke. 10 seconds to shoot. Now Sasha Warnier goes over. And a big save for Hladky with the stick.
And again, Belgium picking up the second chance rebound opportunity to extend their offensive possession.
Oh, and now Kyle Baker left a marker on the opposite post of the goal of Filip Hladky. So now they have another 30 seconds to work with. El Karmoudi. Stefan Stadlinger, pretty close defense on him, gets the check, and goes the other way. Two Belgian players trailing him, shoots, but Roman Kluge protects the 5-0 as he does the best, and the other way heads Red King and the Belgians.
Again, so dangerous off transition, slowing it down here, but you can see they're just so quick to that ball and just being able to get things around. Everyone knows where they have to go. It's so systematic.
Now a loose ball again picked up by the Austrian defense, and the other way heading is Pucher. Almost got Heining over the halfway line, but he tried to pass it to Red King. Now De Hade to the other side to John King. Nittany Lions scores yet again!
And John King doing what he does best, working around the defense and fakes the initial shot. He takes two defenders with him. You can see they both go for it and ultimately ripping it in. What a play from John King.
So we're heading back to the face-off spot. Another fight between Lucchini and Ayaliwo. Illegal procedure by Belgium. So now Austria possesses the ball. Matthias Stadlinger heading the other way. Lurk and a big checks by King, and he goes by himself. But now a big squeeze by Kluge. And now a penalty against John King.
And John King, he's the one on the penalty right there. Just a little bit too aggressive. Now, for those who have noticed how good John King was in high school at Draper, Corner Canyon in Draper, Utah, this guy was named not only Utah USA Today Player of the Year, also led the nation in scoring for the Chargers. And his brother Rhett King also named the Utah Player of the Year for Corner Canyon as well. So just that family in general, and then obviously now playing in a major program at Penn State in the Big Ten. I mean, heck of a lacrosse player. He's getting his work here now in Europe, and he's on full display.
So now Belgium with the penalty kill. El Karmoudi holding off a lot of checks by Stefan Stadlinger. He gets a big body on him. Now Daniel Pucher is running for the ball. And our shot clock expires for Belgium. So Austria can begin another part of their mission towards, hopefully for them, a comeback. But to get the comeback, now they have to use this power play, and they have to use it fast. With a goalie like Roman Kluge, it's not going to be an easy job. Now Klaus fakes the behind the back, and a big save by Kluge. Loose ball picked up by Probst. They have another 30-second shot clock to work with. Hauer goes over the crossbar, and it trickles in behind the goal of Kluge. Lurk gets it off to Hauer. Big shot by Probst, but it has been blocked by Janssens. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Hauer, big shot. But again, held off by Roman Kluge. And as I was speaking about breaking the dam, he built another, and maybe firmer and stiffer than the previous one.
Yep.
Aheliwo was going all the way, but right in front of the goal of Latke, passed it off to Baker.
And when I was speaking to Belgium pre-game, they mentioned Aloijo was the guy taking the face-offs, and I said, oh, he's a Fogo, and he said, no, he's much more than that. He's more of a Foso, a Fogo, a face-off, stay-on kind of guy. There's a whole lot for Belgium.
Have you figured out the position that that he played in the football team?
Was not able to pull it up, but probably played receiver or running back. I mean, maybe even quarterback. I don't know.
So. Yeah, he looks like it. He looks like it.
He's lanky. He's got that build.
And fast as well.
Very fast.
Now we'll lose ball on the board. Neubauer and Senti. And the second one named is coming victorious with the loose ball going the other way. Pass it off to Sasha Warnier. Faces off against Stadlinger. Gets a pick from Carmudi. Carmudi tries to get the pass. Now a loose ball. And it bounces straight into the stick of Philipp Latke. Now Stefan Stadlinger had Stepman against him in the clear fight and tries to get the ball on the cage as the buzzer sounds, and we are heading into our third in the mission. We're going to be back in less than 2 minutes with more second half action between Austria and Belgium. Fourth quarter action here at Jižní Město, and Austria and Belgium heading into the final 15 minutes of regulation, as Belgium so far pretty dominant performance on both sides of the field, scoring 12 goals and only allowing 2. Now, and that's an example of what Roman Kluge has been doing all game long. Just big time saves, even in the biggest of opportunities. On the other side, Roman De Hare, and the transition threat with the number 6 on his back, strikes once again for Belgium.
And we keep saying it, Belgium is so explosive on the transition. A great sub in at the perfect time from De Gea coming in there. And you can see him coming out of the box. He's jogging hard. That effort is the difference. And not enough of a shift over from the net keeper over for Austria. It's a little bit over, and then eventually still has enough of a spot over to the outside for De Gea to knock it through. And Belgium is just pouring it on in the fourth quarter.
So now it's the 11 goal difference. And oh wow! And that's a penalty against Red King. And that may have been a 5-minute major because he was going after him. And then Stefan Stadlinger has got a little taste of the boards.
And you can see he's trying to argue his case with the official right now. But yeah, tough
we're
one.
definitely getting the replay afterwards.
Yeah, we have to take a look at that.
Yeah, let's see. So Stefan Stadlinger is going behind the ball. Yeah, and yeah, that's just
And then he goes
disgusting.
down at the end as well.
Yeah.
It's a little bit too extra on the contact.
Okay, so we have only 2 minutes.
Wow.
Okay. So 2 minutes in the power play for Austria. Another chance to deal another strike in the goal of Kluge. But now a ball loose on the boards. Salzburn. He's the one to pick it up. Goes underneath on the right hand. Now Adrian Balash. Weer de Monarch and the Den of Dolphin strikes first. His first in the game and the third for Austria.
So the second power play goal for Austria, and just a great job to fight off of the walls, and then the cutter coming in. Nobody there really defensively for Belgium. You can see one defender trying to take his spot over to the far side, but outside of that, just nobody there for Belgium. And a huge goal for Austria at the very least, just to get some morale up here.
Yeah, just both of his defenders just far up on him, and then a lot of space in front of Kluge. And iconic Adrian Balash had, again, one of the easiest of jobs. So now with the tail goal differential, we're heading back in front of Latke, who makes yet another save. Now Kyle Baker gets the loose ball and floats it just over the crossbar. Loose ball for John King, and another save for Philip Latke. And another ground ball by number 11.
How does he still have it?
I can't believe my eyes because John King seems to have an unlimited stamina. He was going up and down all game long. Big props to him. But 10 seconds to shoot. Now Sacha Warnier handling the rock. Shoots and floats it just over the crossbar. Gets it off to Heinik Baker. And nobody touched the ball. And it went just next to the post of Latke. Now Martin Neubauer. Passing it off to Balash. Down to Probst. Back to Balash. To the other side too! Wow! Salzburn snipes in near upper corner. And Salzburn fires the fourth goal for Austria in behind the Belgian netminder.
And top shelf, absolutely beautiful shot there. As just putting it in the top right corner towards the pipe with Salzburn. And you can see the entire defense again kind of off balance from the off-ball movement. You can see that pick there, whether it was intentional or not, just creating enough space for Salzburg to take the shot.
And now Pedoluccini was trying to get a goal straight out of a face-off, and now he's chopping and chopping. A loose ball. Fired between Henker and Landgrebe, but Jansen's come for the rescue. John King, big field shot! You saw it coming! The field path for John King. And a goal number 14.
And what makes a player like John King so dangerous is that acceleration, that ability to change gears. You can see he was cutting back in, eventually cuts out, and that's why as a defender they always teach you when you're in isolation, you want to watch the hips. You don't want to watch the feet. The hips are telling you where the player is going, and if you watch John King's hips, his hips never fully go to the left-hand side. They stay centered, and ultimately that allows him to make that quick cut back inside and creates an easy goal for him on the run.
That's a hat trick for John King as well. He adds it to his 4 assists on the game. There was a one-time try by Maximilian Salzburg, and now back into the crease. Call against Bruno Matelet. Now Gerrit Probst. Up to Sucher. Down to Marvin Lurk. Watching for a pass. And the pass to Adrian Belash wasn't handled properly. It ends up with Kluge. And now over the halfway line with Red King, who returns to the field. Now Kyle Baker fakes it off. And the ball ends up in the net. Kyle Baker again, the nasty hands made Philip Latke just froze in the crease. And again, 11-goal lead by Belgium.
And again, that's not even really that great of a throw from Rhett King. He overthrew him there, but a great way to high point the ball from King and, oh, not King, excuse me, Baker, excuse me, makes a couple moves of his stick, able to get the goalie a little bit out of his spot. Again, they're not really moving him too much, but enough so, again, to create that space. And that's really what stood out to me about this Belgium offense. They've done a really good job of creating those shot opportunities when they're on the move, not only setting them off ball, but also when they have the ball in their sticks, going down, crashing onto the goal.
And as Kyle Baker is one of the players not with that high of a posture, that was a great handle by him. Now a big shot by Belash, misses the mark, loose ball. So far has not been picked up. Oris and Salzburg fighting for it, but now it has gone for the Janssens. And he floats it off for John King, and the ball ends up over the boards.
Bouncer going too high. Again, the floor definitely going to be a lot more bouncy compared to the turf.
Now a try by Stadlinger, pass it off to Marvin Lurk and fires it just off the mark. Gerrit Probst. Down to number 7, pass it off to Belash. Into traffic for Sucher. But it has been trickled off to the boards. As now we have a delay penalty. I believe it's against Austria.
That's got to be boarding.
And that's a hold against Gerrit Probst.
That too. Yeah, King just got absolutely shoved into the bulge right there. I mean, that is, I guess you got to do what you got to do to try to take him out of the game, but wow. He gave us a look up here in the broadcast booth.
Yeah, let's see.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there was a reset of shot clock, but then
around the neck. He had him around the neck, too.
Yeah. But then the referee changed his mind and gave yet another power play for Belgium, who can now get, for them, the desired 12-goal differential and get the clock running. John King again on the crease. Good job by him, but he missed the mark entirely. Stepman, Baker, dozen of seconds to go. Pass it off to De Hare. Sasha Warnier downhill. John King gets the pick for Baker. Now a shot from Stepman, but what a save by Philip Latke. I don't think he didn't even notice that. He made the save on the, not on the initial shot, but on the rebound. Now cleared off by Stefan Stahlinger, going into the crease! And Roman Kluge, the stone wall, the dam.
The Great Wall of Belgium.
The Great Wall of Belgium. Not that long, but pretty sturdy. Now
Yeah.
Belgium again in the attack mode. De Hare. Pass it off to Baker. Now Sasha Warnier with the one-timer. But gets it off the mark. 3 seconds to shoot. Warnier! And he shoots on the near post! Upper corner. Absolutely sniped by Sasha Warnier.
And again, the ability to get the ball around, passing it all around different sides of the floor, being able to utilize different parts of the floor to create new shooting opportunities, and spreading out this Austria defense in the power plays. Sasha Warnier, he's been pretty quiet so far in this one. Has a couple of goals, but able to knock that one in there as well to give Belgium a 12-point lead. And I mean, it's just, rich gets richer.
And as seen by the footwork by Marco Lodne, I think, oh wow! Okay, so that was a wide shot. Because of that, we don't have the resetted shot clock. But the footwork of Marco Lodne, I think he thought that Sasha Warnier is going to go into traffic and not shoot straight afterwards of catching the shot. So now Belgium gets the shot on net. Jogged over the halfway line by Noak. Pass it off to De Hare. Down to Van den Bolke. El Karmoudi gets the big shot. But Latki got his leg to it. We're again with the 30-second shot clock. Reset it! And John King. Just, I don't know what to say to that. Defensive MVP, offensive MVP. Give it to whoever you like, but I'm giving both of them to John King because he has been so unbelievable on both sides of the field, scoring yet another for Belgium.
And John, I mean, you said it all. John King, he's been doing everything for Belgium the whole day, and he has the 4 assists. He has 4 goals now. I mean, he's been up and down on defense. I feel like I'm just repeating what you've been saying, but there's not really much more to say. He's showing everybody why he's playing at the highest level of lacrosse collegiately at Penn State. And, I mean, I know that it's a little bit different than at the highest level of Division I lacrosse, but still, he is just going out there and making his mark, showing why he was one of the best high school recruits in the nation back in 2021. I mean, what a day.
I think as we've said almost everything about John King, there is nothing to say. Now Bertoluccini, straight from the face-off dot.
It was a clean face-off win for him.
He has been one of my favorite face-off specialists throughout the tournament because he has been winning it for himself, winning it for the attackmen, winning it for the defenders, and he has been so versatile on the face-off dot. Also going into those big chances, straight from the draw. Sorry. So now a hold off by Marco Lodne, checked pretty highly by Red King, but endure the pressure. Andres Sucher goes underneath on Matalet, tries to pass it over to Adrian Belage, but it has been knocked down by Janssens. So the other way heads Red King. Jogging on the left-hand side, flips it off for De Hare to Baker. And now a change in the crease for Belgium, as we have Nathan Paulus stepping in between the 3 pipes of Belgium. As now we can say a big shout out to the coaching staff, giving the number 0 on the Belgian side some playing time and giving him a chance to step in between the 3 pipes of Belgium.
At this point, you have a big enough lead that you can feel comfortable pulling Romain out of the lineup after a heck of a day for him.
And now a big save for Paulus. And the crowd absolutely loves it as he flips it off for Ali Lewo. I didn't see that much of a Paulus in this tournament. He has only 2 games played, 7 saves, 5 goals conceded. So now a big opportunity to get his percentage high up. But now a big squeeze save by Filip Latky, as after a big uninterrupted period, we're now heading into the TV timeout with 4 minutes and 42 seconds to go.
The Good Stick Company is here to manufacture and produce lacrosse sticks locally here in the Czech Republic. Our mission is to make lacrosse more accessible so more kids can have access to affordable, high-quality equipment so more people can play this game and we can share this sport around the world.
Pivo z rodinného pivovaru, kde řemeslo a tradice jdou ruku v ruce.
Sorry, máš tam 58. 58. Promiň. Jo, už si to vypojil, neboj. Something under 5 minutes remains in the 4th quarter between Austria and Belgium. You can see the scoreline now in the lower side of your screens now as Martin Neubauer goes straight into Belgium and Nathan Paulus makes yet another stop.
Good job for him subbing in. Obviously at this point, game probably decided, but either way, it's great to go in there and get some clean reps. Still going up against, the first line for Austria. So definitely still things to play for.
So now Kyle Baker with 10 seconds to shoot. Goes underneath. There's an illegal pick from Belgium, so we're heading the other way. With Andres Sucher now jogging upfield. Marvin Lurk goes underneath, jumps! And yet another save by Paulus. Henken heading the other side into the break. But now he decided to slow it down for Belgium.
No need to rush things at this point. You have more important games to play for coming up. Not much time. You don't want to risk any injury. Just go out there, kill as much clock as you can, and get ready for the next game.
I think the winner is now decided as Belgium is now leading by 13. And a shot off on Latky, but it has been distributed up to Gerrit Pravs and Austria, going back in front of Paulus. The winner of today's game, which is probably now decided, is going to play against Switzerland here at Jižní Město, 5 p.m. local time. Wide shot from the stick of Martin Neubauer, and heading the other way is John King and Belgium.
And that'll be a heck of a game between Belgium and Sweden, and or Switzerland, excuse me. Messed it up, that's all me. But gonna be a heck of a game, and it's gonna be so exciting to see how this entire tournament plays out.
Yeah, both of those teams, Belgium and Switzerland as well, have a lot of star power on both ends of the field. For Switzerland especially, Lucas Harry, Brendan Koenig, and those kinds of names. Back in Jižní Město Arena, and Marvin Lurk firing the first one in behind the back of Nathan Paulus. And getting one of the late and so said consolation goals for Austria as we're heading into our last 2 minutes of the regulation.
And that's a great play by Lurch. Just able to cut in, beat his defenders, face the trail check, but still able to knock it to the back of the net. Not going to do much for the final score, but at the very least, a nice little consolation goal, as you said. Some positives to take forward.
And Henket might have gave a little help to Lurk with that shot with the trail check. And now we're heading in front of the Belgian bench as Henket was the one now lying next to the bench of Belgium. The referees are going to have a discussion.
And he comes in late, comes from behind, pretty clearly illegal, blocking the back into the boards. And it's one of those penalties where, hey, I get it, the frustration, right? But it's not going to really make it a change in the outcome. But still, just one of those plays where it's like you have to just kind of control the emotions and not do that, because hey, if this was a close game, that could be a major difference.
Such as in the previous game where Norway was playing back and forth with a strong team of Scotland, and at the end got the best of them in a thrilling comeback, 14-12 comeback win. Now with Clemens Schusterschitz serving the penalty for Austria, as we're now heading into the last minute of regulation. Kyle Baker passed it off to Sasha Warney, one-timer, and what a save by Philip Latke. Now ball distributed upfield to Stadlinger. Jogging against Stepman. I think he's not looking now for any outlet as he's now running in behind the goal of Paulus. Lurk! And a big save by the number 0. Heading the other way was Probst. Loose ball picked up by King. Flips it off for Senti. And almost caught by the defender. Now a loose ball picked up by the number 26. Spins off. And now Stepman. 10 seconds on the shot clock. 5-second difference between shot clock and the game clock. Baker pass it off to De Hare. Twists it. But Philip Latke gobbles it into his own stick. And the ball ends up in the stick of André Sucher as Belgium moves on and will play Switzerland, as we said, tomorrow here at Jižní Město at 5 p.m. local time. For Austria, the tournament is not done yet, as they will be heading to a lower bracket game. Wait, I have to figure it out now. They will be playing Scotland in the 13th place game at Saturday here at 9 a.m. local time. And as we said, Belgium will face Switzerland in the 9th place bracket semi-finals, and awaiting them will be the winner of the game between Norway and Netherlands in the other semi-final. So again, thanks for watching this game between Austria and Belgium, ending up with the scoreline of Austria 5, Belgium 17. André Gisal and Luc Lee, we want to thank you for tuning in this live stream on the ELF YouTube channel. Luke is going to get one of the players from the Belgian side to get an interview, so don't go too far from our screens, as we will give you another piece of action here from Jižní Město, as at 3:30 Poland will play Italy in the 5th place bracket semi-final. So get a little break and come in something over an hour for yet another game here at Jižní Město.
appreciate you for doing it. I know you want to get out of here. All right, we good? I'm here with John King, post-game interview. Obviously, John, you had a heck of a game today here. The 4 goals, the 4 assists. Long ways away from Happy Valley, even longer from Draper. So let me just tell you, what are some of the things that you've seen going up against some of the best players in the country every single day that have prepared you out here in Europe, for Prague?
I would say definitely the speed of the game that I'm playing back home definitely helps a lot. I'm going against some of the best players in the world every single day, so that definitely helps me out. But the players here are really good, so it's just cool to be out here and see lacrosse outside of North America, see that there are a lot of good players all over the place. It's pretty cool.
And so, obviously, as I mentioned the stat line you had before, what were some of the things you were seeing offensively, not only to make plays scoring the ball, but also feeding your teammates? Because you had the 4 assists before you had the 4 goals. So what were you seeing defensively today that really allowed you guys to take advantage of it?
I felt like they were sliding to me pretty quickly, or doubling me pretty quickly, so it was leaving guys open on the backside. So, it was kind of easy to find them. They put themselves in really good spots, so my teammates made it pretty easy for me.
Absolutely. And just finally, you guys had a lot of success here offensively. Obviously took them on earlier this year. Had 21 goals in this one, 17 as well. But we named you the offensive and defensive MVP for your ability to just play both sides of the ball. So what were some of the things you guys are seeing defensively today that really limited them from 11 goals in your first matchup to just 5 today?
We knew who their scorers were this time around, and we did our best to shut them down. Our defense played really well. A lot of good guys on the defensive end, so it made things a lot easier for us. Our goalie played out of his mind too, so those guys really made it easy for us, like our jobs and getting the ball back to the offensive end so we could score.
Absolutely fantastic, great game today.
Thank you.
Thanks, man. Sorry. No, you're good, dude. You're good, dude. Nobody knows how to respond to these. I don't even know how to ask questions, man.